The first thing they told me was simple. Do not speak unless spoken to. That alone should have warned me this wasn't going to be a normal diplomatic mission. I had been stationed on Carthix Prime for barely 3 weeks when the summons arrived, sealed in shimmering crystal, humming faintly with a frequency I could feel in my bones. No human courier delivered it. It simply appeared on my desk, and everyone in the room suddenly stopped breathing. The Carthixian Empire didn't request audiences. They commanded them, especially when it came from the Queen. No explanation, no briefing, no hint of what I'd done. Only a single line etched into the crystal. You will answer for your actions regarding the princess. That was the moment I realized something had gone very, very wrong. Arrival at the throne world. The throne world was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. The palace itself wasn't built, it was grown. Towering ivory structures spiraled into the sky like frozen lightning, pulsing with faint bioluminescence. The air shimmered with energy fields, and the ground beneath my boots felt alive. I was escorted by 6 royal guards, each standing nearly 8 feet tall, their exoskeleton armor shifting like liquid metal. Not a single one looked at me. Not a single one needed to. I could feel their awareness like a weight pressing against my thoughts. Human, one of them finally said, voice echoing directly in my mind. You will kneel when commanded. I don't kneel easily, I muttered. The guard stopped, slowly turned its head. You will, it replied. And for the first time, I believed it. The throne room. The doors opened without a sound. Inside, the throne room stretched endlessly, vast beyond reason. The ceiling was a living sky, shifting constellations forming and dissolving in slow motion. And at the center, she sat. The Queen. She wasn't merely large. She was overwhelming. Her form radiated power, multi-limbed, elegant, terrifying. A crown of living crystal hovered above her head, orbiting slowly, emitting waves of psychic pressure that made my vision blur. Every noble in the chamber stood in perfect silence. Every gaze turned toward me. The guards forced me forward. Then, kneel. The command hit like a physical force. My legs buckled before I could resist. The accusation. The Queen leaned forward. Her voice didn't echo. It resonated. Human, she said, you have interfered with my bloodline. A murmur rippled through the chamber. I kept my head up, even from my knees. I don't even know what I'm being accused of, I replied. Gasps. Actual, audible gasps. The guards tightened around me. The Queen's eyes narrowed, glowing faintly. You do, she said softly. My daughter has spoken your name. That stopped me cold. Her daughter. The princess. And suddenly I knew exactly what this was about. Flashback. The first meeting. It had been 2 weeks earlier. I was assigned to a remote research sector, monitoring atmospheric anomalies. Boring work. Until I found her. Or rather, she found me. She appeared out of nowhere. No guards. No escort. Just curiosity. She looked different from the Queen. Smaller. Softer. Still powerful, but unrefined. Are you human? She had asked, her voice echoing gently in my mind. Last time I checked, I said. She circled me, fascinated. You are allowed, she said. I'm not even talking. Your thoughts are. That was our first conversation. Connection. She kept coming back. Every day. At first, she asked questions, endless questions. About Earth. About emotions. About why humans laugh, cry, fight, and forgive. And then, she started asking about freedom. Do humans choose their lives? She asked once. Most of us try to. And if they're told what they must become? I looked at her. Then they either accept it or they don't. She went quiet. For a long time. The secret she shared. One day, she didn't ask questions. She told me the truth. I am not allowed to choose, she said. Choose what? My bond. My future. My purpose. That's when I learned about their system. Royal offspring weren't individuals. They were assets. Their lives predetermined. Their paths fixed before they were even born. And you don't want that, I said. She shook her head. I want to understand what it means to be, not just to become. That was the moment everything changed. Back to the throne room. The Queen's voice cut through my memory. You have influenced her, she said. You have filled her mind with dangerous ideas. I stood slowly, ignoring the guards, ignoring the pressure. I didn't force anything on her, I said. I answered her questions. You taught her defiance. No, I replied. I showed her she has a choice. The entire chamber froze.
No one spoke to the Queen like that.
No one. The rising tension. The Queen rose. The air itself seemed to bend around her. A choice, she repeated. Do you understand what you suggest, human? I do. If she rejects her role, our empire fractures. If she accepts it unwillingly, I said, then it was already broken.
Silence. Heavy.
Dangerous silence. The guards stepped closer, weapons forming from their limbs. One move, and I was dead. The princess appeared. Stop. The voice echoed from above. All eyes turned. She descended from the living ceiling, light wrapping around her like wings. The princess. She landed beside me. Not behind the throne. Beside me. That alone sent shockwaves through the chamber. Mother, she said. He did not corrupt me. The Queen's gaze sharpened. You defend him? I defend the truth. The truth revealed. The princess stepped forward. For the first time, she said, I am not afraid. She turned to the court. I have seen another way of existence. One where worth is not assigned, but discovered. Murmurs spread. Unrest. The Queen's power surged. You speak like a child, she said coldly. I speak like someone who has awakened. The breaking point. The Queen raised a hand. Energy gathered. Enough to erase me instantly. You will be corrected, she said. I stepped forward. Between them. That's when the entire throne room lost its mind. Move, a guard hissed. No, I said. The Queen's gaze locked onto mine. You would die for this? I took a breath. And then I said the words that would change everything. My reply, she doesn't belong to you. The chamber erupted. Guards surged. Nobles shouted. The Queen's power flared, and then stopped. Because I kept talking. She's not your extension. Not your tool. Not your legacy. I pointed to the princess. She's a person. Silence slammed down like a hammer. You built an empire. I continued, but you forgot something important. The Queen's voice was barely a whisper. And what is that, human? I met her gaze. You can control a future, but you can't force someone to want it. The shock. No one moved. No one breathed. The Queen stared at me. Then, slowly, she turned to her daughter. For the first time in your life, she said, you stand against me. The princess didn't hesitate. Yes. The decision time seemed to stretch. Then the Queen did something no one expected. She stepped down from the throne. The entire court gasped. She approached us.
Slowly, carefully.
Not as a ruler, but as something else. Human, she said. You risked everything. I know. For her. Yes. She looked at her daughter. Then back at me. Why? I answered honestly. Because someone should have done it for me once. The ending. A new beginning. The Queen closed her eyes. For a moment, the immense power surrounding her softened. When she opened them again, something had changed. Not weakened, not diminished, but shifted. "She will choose," the Queen said. The chamber erupted again, but this time in disbelief. "Her path will be her own." She turned to the court. "And our empire will adapt." No one argued. No one dared. Because for the first time, the Queen wasn't enforcing control. She was embracing evolution. Aftermath, I wasn't executed, which honestly felt like a win. The princess was no longer just a title. She became something new, something undefined. And the empire? It didn't fall. It changed. Slowly, painfully, but inevitably. Final moment before I left the throne world, she found me one last time. "Was it worth it?" she asked. I smiled. "You tell me." She looked out at the stars. "I think this is the first time they feel like mine." I nodded. "Then yeah," I said. "It was worth it."